Hello, this is Dallas McMillan and welcome to Social Sales Funnels for Professionals. This is continuing our series on lead generation for professionals, and we're exploring this concept of the social sales funnel. We know people need to know, like and trust us before they're willing to try and buy our most valuable products and services, and we're thinking, how can we support this process online? A little bit about me. I'm a lead generation specialist, so I spent 10 years marketing professional services firms. I really started when I was running a successful veterinary practice. I was one of three partners in a large veterinary practice group, and I just realized we needed to be found on Google. We needed to get more clients online if we wanted to grow a successful business. Over the next 10 years, I've really perfected the art of online marketing for professionals, and I specialize in lead generation, profile and brand building, and strategic brand differentiation for professional services firms, particularly those who want to grow and establish a position in the marketplace that's uniquely theirs. I'm the founder of Influential Digital, and we're a digital marketing agency specializing in professional firms. So, just a quick recap of the last video, though if you haven't seen it, I do encourage you to go back and watch that now before proceeding with this. In the last video, we talked about how to attract a steady stream of pre-sold, qualified, high-value clients on autopilot. That's really what we're about here. Now, how do you know this is right for you? I generally work with professionals who have a service-based business. They largely work one-on-one with clients. They want to focus on what they do best, and they're usually great at what they do, but they just don't have enough clients. And I know from personal experience, marketing your business isn't something that comes naturally to professionals, and it can be a full-time job. So you'd rather focus on doing a great job for your clients and let the leads come to you automatically. And that's what we really provide our clients. But if you don't have enough clients, you need to focus on client quantity. So if your waiting rooms are empty, if you've got inconsistent cash flow, if you've got staff sitting idle, they're all signs there just aren't enough clients in the door. That's not the only reason you need to do lead generation though. Another really common reason is that you actually have enough clients, but they're the wrong type of client. So the quality is inconsistent. You get some that are really good, others are bad. It's a bit hit and miss. Often they don't want the kind of work you want to do, so you're doing a little bit of everything rather than being able to develop your expertise in the areas you love. In this case, you need to focus on the quality of leads so that you can have more targeted leads that are more likely to be your ideal client. And the third common problem that people face is that they are experiencing price sensitivity. Now, this can come in two forms. Either people just don't have the money or say they can't afford it, or that they come to you and they're actually price shopping, so they'll want to compare your prices to someone else. And both these are signs that you haven't qualified the client enough and you aren't differentiated enough in the marketplace. In that case, you need to focus on qualifying leads, and so those three components work together: quantity, quality, and qualification, to ensure that you've got an abundance of high quality qualified leads who are likely to be your ideal client. And in terms of how we do that online, we do it by being visible, credible, and remarkable. So we want to stand out online and look great. We want to be credible and look like experts at what we do, which you are. It's just a matter of communicating it. And we want to be remarkable. We want to be different from the competition, because otherwise people get confused and they can't tell us apart, so they end up shopping on price. And the reason these are so important is because this is really the way our brain works. When we see a new idea, we immediately go, does this matter to me? Is it relevant? Do I care? Is it interesting? And then we assess its safety. Is it safe? Is it scary? Is it dangerous? Is it something I should be worried about? Can I do it? And then thirdly, they're looking for what makes it exceptional or interesting, because the vast bulk of information we get in a day just doesn't matter at all, and we just filter it out. So your marketing needs to tick those three boxes of being highly relevant, of being trustworthy, credible, and having substance, and of being interesting, differentiated, and remarkable. And that's just the way our brain works, and these are fundamental tenets of any marketing campaign. Now let's take a deep look at how your customers shop for, choose and buy your services online. And this has really totally changed in the last 20 years ago. Remember back then, if you needed something or needed the answers to something, or there was nothing you could do except to go and see an expert. There wasn't Google, and so as a result we got used to not knowing the answers, and we got used to going directly to professionals when we had a problem. Now these days, if you want to know something, you can find out in seconds with a device you've got in your pocket or on your laptop or desktop computer. So that lack of access to information has really changed the way we interact with professionals. We're much more likely to do research on our own early on, or ask friends, or look at other online sources of information, and then only approach the professional at the end. Let's have a look at how that goes and how most professionals interact with their customers and why they're failing online, and how you can act differently to succeed online with your lead generation. So to begin with, people notice a symptom. They don't even know what the problem is. They just go, oh no, this thing's happened, what does it mean? So in the process of trying to figure out what it means, they do some searching online and they start to self-assess, and they think, oh look, these are the problems I'm having, this is my situation. They're getting some context for where they're at and trying to make sense of what's going on. And then based on comparing themselves to others and information online, they start to put together a picture and self-diagnose their problem, which might or might not be accurate. From there, once they've got a diagnosis, then they can start to look at what the solution, what the cure or the answer might be for them. And they'll often get a few of these, and it's hard for them to know which is the right one, so they'll sort of weigh them up and figure out which is best for them. Then, having decided on one or a few, they'll start approaching professionals, people who can provide that product or service that they think they need. And at this point, they'll actually contact us and then possibly buy from us, and ultimately they'll sort of satisfy this initial disruption caused by their symptom. So let's have a look at the steps involved there, because it's the steps between these that are really interesting. So you start off with a symptom, and then you start by searching. You search online and you get information which lets you assess what's going on. You start to make sense of your symptom. What does it mean? And that's often the first question people ask me as a vet. They come in and say, what is this lump? What does it mean? They want to know what's going on. And from there, you need to get a diagnosis. And because they don't have the diagnostic skills, they don't have the background, they do this by asking other people, looking at online forums, reading review sites, reading blogs and other articles, and they're trying to piece things together, but they're very driven by their connection to other people. They're looking for people like them because that's the best guess at finding an answer that's appropriate for them. Next, they'll turn to sort of expert resources. Very often they'll find people like them online and they'll say, oh, I found an expert who I really liked. They've got this resource that can help you figure out what's wrong with you. You should have a read. And you might download an ebook or watch a video or maybe do an online course or an email course. All these things help you to understand what the situation is and confirm that diagnosis in your client's mind and start to think about the right solution for them. And a lot of the time, this shareable expertise is really aimed at selling a specific product. So to the customer, it seems like it's expert information, but really it's sales material. And once they've got some ideas about solutions, then they start shopping for providers. They're looking around, comparing solutions, comparing providers, and trying to find someone who can sell them something that will fix their problem. Remember, this is all a lot of work that they're trying to go to solve this initial symptom. And then finally, they'll purchase a solution and ultimately satisfy their goals. Now, for most professionals, they're absent from this entire process. Let's look how it works. Your customer notices the symptom, they search online, and you're not there. They start to interact socially online. They're chatting to their friends, their colleagues, and random strangers, but people with the same problem or similar situation to them on online forums or help sites or patient sites, all sorts of things. They're interacting with other people and you're not there. Next, they're downloading information, products, resources, reports, diagnostic tests, and you're not there. And then they go looking for simple products and solutions that they can purchase that will solve their problem. They don't really know what's going on. Often their diagnosis is incorrect, but they're looking for the cheap, fast, simple solution. And so they're shopping for things like that. And by and large, you're not there. And then they reach the point and they go, look, I need to buy one of these. I'm going to have to call a professional. And at this point, they'll pick up the phone and ring you. Now, while this seems like that's fine, they ring you eventually, the problem is you have lost the authority and control over this diagnostic process. They're coming to you where they already think they know all the answers. They've already got this background information. They've been reading reports from other experts and other companies. And all they want to know from you is how much, how fast, and where are you, or how can I work with you? So they're the questions you ask when you're buying commodity. This is a really critical insight for your practice, because this potentially makes you move from being a trusted advisor, a high status, well-regarded professional, to a provider of goods and services. And that's a massive transformation. Professionals have a uniquely privileged position in society, and it means we can charge well for our services and support things like ongoing education and training and getting really great at our specific job. At the moment, we're risking becoming mere brokers for products and services. Now, for that reason, it's essential that you take him out of this process and you start appearing in these spots here, that you show up when people are searching online. You show up whether you're present personally or your clients are mentioning you in social interactions. That you've got shareable content, you've got reports, you've got videos that help people understand their situation and choose the right product or service. That you've got products or services that are published online and people can see what you offer and think, yes, I want to buy that from you. You're shoppable. And then finally, you need to be solution focused and offer something that's obviously going to solve the problem and address the symptoms that they came in with. Now, this is what successful digital brands do. They just tick these boxes where most professionals fail. They're searchable. They've got great content that shows up in search engines and they get found when people are looking online. They're sociable. They interact with their customers, their website, their social media page, are chatting, and they're answering to the questions that their customers are asking online. If people are Googling all day the same problems, they write a frequently asked questions page addressing those problems, which means that they're addressing those needs, they're showing up on search, and they appear interactive and responsive. They're shareable. They've got this sales and marketing material, training material, educational material online to help guide their customers through the buying process. If most of your competitors aren't doing this, it's very easy to stand out and be the one that gets referred, be the one who actually helps explain to people what's going on and what they should do about it. Great brands are shoppable. They've got easy to buy products and services that have low barriers to entry, are low risk, and very easily accessible. Most professional services aren't like this at all. It's complex and difficult to start doing business with you. And then finally, these companies are solution focused, which means they're scalable. They've found a way to deliver a complete solution to a specific client that lets them grow. And that's really one of the keys of moving beyond a sort of time for money job, which is what most professionals really have, and moving towards owning a business that can grow, expand, and become more profitable and doesn't rely on you simply putting more and more hours in to achieve it. So let's take a look at how we achieve each of these steps. And while in the last video we talked about the concept of a sales funnel to your customer, each step through that funnel is actually work, and it's risky. there's a kind of leap of faith in getting to know a brand and start to do business with them. So I like to represent it in this way, where each of these pillars is something your client has to sort of climb up in order to get to know your brand. So know, like, and trust you in order to try and buy your services. So the first step was search. We have to get found on search. The second step is we need to be sociable. We need to interact with our clients. We need to listen to them and respond to their concerns online, because there's heaps of other people who will, and they're probably not giving accurate information. It's up to you to make sure you're the one putting quality information out into your marketplace. And don't miss the opportunity to create this shareable content. This can be things like videos, webinars, ebooks, handouts, templates, diagnostic tests, self-assessment quizzes. All these things help people to figure out where they are, whether they, what they should be doing next. And by you being the one who offers it and guides them through the process, they're getting to know, like, and trust you. This is what really builds trust. How can you be more shoppable? Look, chances are you're already offering an introductory consultation or some sort of initial program, but you could expand that out to include some pre-recorded or group programs that sort of scale your ability to communicate with your customers. Chances are every time you start the type of work that you love doing most, you spend an hour or more telling people exactly the same thing before you start answering their specific questions. Does that need to be you doing that every time, or could that be done by video? Could it be done as a group, or could it be done by your team and turn into a shoppable product that lets people get started working with you, experience your expertise, and then decide to go to the next step, which is to purchase your complete solution. Now, this is something many professionals fail at. They can solve all sorts of problems, but they forget to tell people that they're an expert at solving these problems. People are looking for solutions to the specific problem that's just driving them crazy right now. And if you position yourself as someone who solves that problem for a specific person, then you will stand out in line as the best at what you do. Now, the steps to doing that we'll cover in the next video, how we actually build this online profile, but these are the essential components. And really, they're the same 5 steps we talked about in the social sales funnel. Know, like, trust, try, and buy. It's still a sales funnel, but we're recognizing that it's actually work for our customers to ascend and do business with us. In the next video, we're going to look at how we actually build our online profile, how we build the technology and the messages and communication with our customers to deliver this sales process. So I'll see you in the next video. I'd love to hear your comments, any insights or questions that you've got from watching this video. Type them into the chat box below. And also, if you'd prefer, you can email me, dallas@influential.com.au. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.